Hey, welcome back to Everyday Ricochet. I'm Mike.
And I'm Bobby.
And guys, today we have such an amazing guest on with us. I can't wait to have her share her story with us. And you guys are going to be amazed just like we are. I want to welcome Thera with Rooted and Rising. Welcome.
Hey, guys.
So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Great.
Doing good. Trying to stay warm. Weather's crazy here, so.
And where are you located?
I'm in Rogersville, Missouri. It's right outside of Springfield. Yesterday we had 60-degree weather and tornadoes, and today we have flooding and snowstorms. So.
Oh, no.
No kidding. We are in, as you know, Burlington, Kentucky. It has been freezing the last few days, and then all of a sudden, yesterday...
It's 70 degrees outside.
And today it's raining here, so...
It was raining yesterday,
it's
too.
Ridiculous.
It is. You know, we wanted you to come on our show because we felt like you have a wonderful message, and we want to help spread that message and your word. We love the fact that you base your business on your Christianity. We just want to talk about, you know, the struggles that you've had. You had a really, really rough beginning. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your story?
Yeah. So, I don't even know where to start at.
You just share what you want to share.
All right. Like, when I was first born, that's when my struggle started. My mom, she went into labor with me when she was 27 weeks. And I had the cord wrapped around my neck, and there was an amniotic infection. And I ended up being born 4 pounds, 6 ounces, and I had a TB lung infection. And I actually just found all this out, like, recently. I did 23andMe and then, like, tracked down all my mom's medical records and stuff. So that was the start of it. My dad, when I was younger, he went to prison for attempted murder on my mom.
That's terrible.
And my aunt. And he spent most of my life in prison. My mom, she was very unstable. She was also an addict. We were moving around a lot. After, like, maybe her 4th marriage, I think, she decided, well, I'm done with men now because they keep doing me wrong. So she started dating women. That was before it was, like, less acceptable in society. So I got bullied a lot for that, and I know that, like, I just was always trying to do stuff to fit in with people because I always felt rejected by society for everything.
Right.
My senior year of high school, let's go back a little bit.
Sure, yeah.
When I was 14, my mom passed away from an overdose. I'm the one that found her.
You were 14?
Yeah, 14 years old. It was right after my 14th birthday.
Oh. So when that happened, how did you handle that as a 14-year-old? I couldn't imagine.
I would say the first day, I just remember crying a lot. It was like that weekend we were supposed to have my birthday party, and we were going to go get our nails done, and we had got matching outfits and all this stuff. So, like, I just was really, like, I had a lot of grief.
Right.
My mom was the one that was there for me my whole life. Then it came to, like, being strong because I have an older brother. He has diabetes, and he doesn't really take care of himself like he should. And sorry, Mark, if you're listening to this. Then I have a little brother, and I just felt like I had to be strong for them. So I kind of took on the mom role.
So already at the age of 14, Dad is in prison, and your mom is going through these things. We look at our life, and we think we've had it real rough. Or a lot of people think that. And then you hear your story, and at age 14, now you're becoming the mom.
The caretaker, the one that gets it done.
But you know how I look at it? I look at it this way, like, yeah, that was really hard for me. Like, other people do have hard stuff happen to them, and it might not be as dramatic as that, but it could affect them in the same type of way that it affected me. So
that's right.
that's why I was trying to look at different perspectives with things on what people are going through, because everyone handles things a lot differently.
Yes, and I want to say, you're 27. I don't want to. I know sometimes women don't want to tell their ages, but you said that in your story that you can read on Facebook or on your website. Excuse me. And I find it remarkable that at age 27, you have gone through 2 or 3 lifetimes of tragedy. It's amazing that you're here. When you were growing up,
the grace of God.
It is. And you mentioned that you had your grandmother that introduced you to church, and that's where you felt the love of God. You know, I've had some similar things happen in my life, and I look back, and I didn't realize it at the time, but I know in my heart that, you know, Jesus was right there with me, because there's no way that, you know, I could have made it through that. And as a child, you know, it just almost feels like he had my hand and was helping me walk through different issues. I think there's
a country song about that.
There probably is. So you decided, okay, we went up to your senior year in high school.
Yeah, that's when I had lost probably 3 or 4 friends that year in either car accidents or overdoses or something like that. And I never really was a partier because of what I saw it do to my family. Because at this point, I was living with my dad. He was out of prison now, and it just was a horrible home life. He just drank a lot, and he's just really hateful.
Right.
Towards me and my brother and stepsister. So the day I turned 18, I moved out, and then senior year of high school, I lost those 3 friends, and it like just sent me in a downward spiral.
A snowball.
And so then I started, you know, drinking. I started doing drugs and all this stuff, and I remember my senior year of high school, I missed over half the days of school. I had this counselor there, and he was like, Thera, you need to kick your butt into gear. Like, you have 2 weeks left. You need to get all this makeup work done, and you need to do this and this and this. And he's like, and you'll graduate. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, wait till the last minute person because I like a challenge.
Right.
So I'm like staying up half the night trying to get work done, and I go to graduation practice, and I don't even know if I'm graduating.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. I go to my counselor. I'm like, all right, so you made me go to graduation practice. Am I graduating or not? And he's like, Thera, I'm sorry to tell you this, but... And then he tells me I'm graduating tomorrow, and I just cried.
I guessed you would.
That was like, I almost had a heart attack at that point. After I graduated, I was like, well, I can do this. Like, that was the one thing everyone told me I wouldn't be able to do. And
right.
Look at me now. So that just pushed me to go and do great things. So I got clean again. I wouldn't say again, for the first time.
Your addiction.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about it all is I was living at the preacher's house when this happened. So,
well, it can happen anywhere.
Yeah, so then I'd start going to college and everything, and got mixed up with the wrong people again. So I'm back to where I was. I started using drugs again. This time it was a lot worse than before. Then I got pregnant with my little lifesaver, a little rainbow baby, Mackenzie. And me and her father had no relationship at all. He, looking back now, I'm not really sure what was going on at that time in my life.
Right.
But I'm grateful for it because it gave me my daughter.
Right.
So that all happened, and then I started using again and got clean again. It was like just
like a roller coaster.
Insanity. It was like insanity, trying to do the same thing over and over, expecting different results.
You know, we look at the definition of insanity, and I say that to Bobby. I said, we're doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results each time. It sounds like you're trying to go down the right path. You're trying to graduate high school. You're going to college.
Well, I just didn't have the tools, I guess, that I needed until later on in life when I really needed them, I guess. And then I got married after that to a guy I'd met at the mall. He was in the Marine Corps. We ended up getting married, and I moved to California with Mackenzie, and I got full custody of Mackenzie.
And how old was she at this time?
She had just turned a year old.
Okay.
And her biological father didn't want anything to do with her. He pretty much signed over custody just so he didn't have to pay child support. So,
yeah, I think we've all encountered people like that.
Yes.
I was going to say, you know, it's really hard to deal with any of those things that happen, even if you're equipped with all the tools that you need. And for you not to have that, it's just amazing that you were able to that you allowed God to pull you up and out of it. You didn't have those tools. You didn't grow up with parents that taught you how to avoid that. You saw when things got rough, that's how they dealt with it. They just didn't deal with it. They took drugs.
It up or what I learned and how I was trained, I guess, is by covering it up or masking it with something. So this time I did the same thing, and I was on the way to Fort Leonard Wood in Missouri, and at this point my drug of choice had escalated to meth, and I got pulled over by the cops, and I had some paraphernalia on me, and I got arrested. Okay. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Right, it woke you up.
So you had never been in trouble prior to that. It was just this is the first time.
Yes. And it was the scariest moment of my life.
I couldn't imagine.
You know, sometimes that's what it takes.
Petty stuff I got in trouble for, but not anything crazy like this. Yeah.
Right. And so it was literally like someone was grabbing you and shaking you. Pay attention. Yes.
But
wake up.
But I'm sure you didn't realize that at the time. All you're thinking is, I'm in deep trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, and I was so mad at that cop. I was like, man, this guy's ruining my day.
Right.
And everything. But I actually tried to call him like a year ago and thank him for saving my life.
Were you able to get a hold of him?
No, but I did leave a message just in case, he happened to get it, that he would know. Because when he arrested me, he put me in the front seat of the car, and he gave me a picture of Mackenzie out of my purse. And he said, is she worth all this? And just gave me a heart-to-heart that I really needed to hear, that nobody had given me before. And if it wasn't for him planting that seed, then I don't know where I would have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is this where you talked about in your blog and in your story about the felony charge that came about?
Yes. I got a felony drug charge, and it was the little town I got pulled over in, they don't play around there. And the judges, they give you the worst sentencing for any type of drug charge.
Okay.
So I'm thinking I'm going to prison for
right.
years. And they had me to where I had a drug test twice a week. And